Well, hello everybody. Welcome to Intellectually Speaking. My name is Robert, and it has been a long time since I've done any kind of content on YouTube. But what's making me start up now is in recent weeks, whenever I started to get really detailed with my spreadsheets, and I'll start sharing my spreadsheets in later videos of what they contain, because they're even more detailed than the ones that I've posted on here in the past. But what I've really started to notice is how manipulative Uber and Lyft have gotten. The games that they play to get drivers to accept rides, the manipulation of the mileage, like I had one on Uber this morning, that it was actually almost 8 miles, but once I started the trip, it indicated 7 miles. Or actually, to get me to accept that ride, it said 7 miles. And the list goes on and on and on about what they will do to try to get drivers to accept their rides. And as gas prices start to go up, like they are nationwide because of Trump's war with Iran, drivers are really starting to get selective, cherry picking about what they allow and what they do not allow. I am huge. I'm really big on cherry picking, because at the end of the day, you have to decide, or actually at that moment, you have to decide, does that ride benefit me? Now remember, Uber and Lyft don't care about you. They only care about the transaction, about someone accepting that ride, because it doesn't matter who, they're still making money. That's facts. They're making money. And that's all that they care about. That's why they do the things that they do. That's why Lyft has saturated the roads with drivers. Coverage is what they call it, to keep prices down. Uber's been doing the same thing. By doing so, they keep prices down, but they're still making money, but drivers are not. And in recent months, I've really noticed this pattern where earnings have been so suppressed that you would have to be deaf, blind, and dumb not to see what's going on. Literally. You would have to be a complete moron not to see what they're doing, because it's obvious. And Lyft's gotten so bad at it that they're not even trying to hide it anymore. It's impossible. Because whenever you look at the breakdowns of the rides at the end of the day, and you see what they charged the passenger, what they took, and what you got paid, it's criminal. Criminal. On average, Lyft takes 48 to 58% of every ride. Uber's not so bad during the week. On the weekends, you better get ready. They're about to rape you. Because I have the hard numbers from this past weekend. Here goes a prime example. I accepted a ride from Waco to DFW Airport. All right. It paid $88.59. Okay. But then whenever I actually entered the information into my spreadsheet, because if you go on, you can actually see the breakdowns of what Uber takes and what they charge, you have to go onto the driver's dashboard on the internet. You cannot see it on the app. It has to be through the dashboard. They charge that passenger $166 and some change. All right. They paid me $88.59. They took 55% of that ride. And when it was all said and done, the passenger tipped $40 and some change, and his total amount was $204. But that's just the iceberg. The rest of the weekend with Uber was 50% or higher on just about every single ride. And so I posted it on Twitter. And you can find me on Twitter. It's called The Green Witch. _green_witch. That's my screen name. Anyway, where I post my spreadsheets. Once you see the raw data, because I don't skew anything, it's raw. It's exactly what I see on the platforms. It breaks down the mileage, the time, everything. And then I have other columns that I keep for security reasons. If I have an issue with a passenger, I put name, pickup address, drop-off address, and any comments. I had to start doing this because Uber came across, I just about got kicked off the platform for something I didn't even do. And they asked from this date to this date, and then it says add any notes. I'm like, what are you talking about? No details. So that's why I started doing it. So now I can go back and I can look at dates, and I can say, oh, this passenger I had this issue with. So that's why I do it. But as I start to create more content to share with rideshare drivers, my goal is to open eyes. I'm not trying to be, YouTube famous or whatever. I want drivers to be informed and to understand exactly what Uber and Lyft are up to, what passengers do, try to get free rides, discounted rides, you name it. Because I've pretty much seen everything. I've been doing this 7 years. And you're like, just about the time that you think you've experienced it all, nope, there's always something out there that'll shock you. It's a given. Just like with the way Uber and Lyft work. They will do anything to get you, the driver, to accept that ride. They have no moral compass whatsoever. They will manipulate time. They will manipulate price. They will manipulate mileage. They will do anything to get you to accept that ride. They will reverse the mileage, but then whenever you start, head towards the passenger, then you're like, wait a minute, it wasn't that far away. They flipped it. They'll manipulate price. They'll offer one price. Uber's really bad about this, to get you to accept it. But the moment you drop that passenger off, it's significantly reduced. It's a bait and switch. Lyft does it as well too, except they'll make a 9 look like a 6. They'll make a 6 look like a 5. They'll make a 7 look like a 4. Or they'll say 7 and it'll turn it into a 4. An 8 into a 6. A 9 into a 5. Trust me, they do it. And then all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute, it wasn't that price before. Exactly. Because they pulled a bait and switch. Lyft is notorious about it. I've been seeing that for years on the platform. Years. Actually, it all started whenever Lyft went to upfront pay. That's when it started. Because most of the time they know that you're driving. The algorithm knows you're in motion, that you can't really see what's going on. They know what's going on. They know. And then whenever you challenge it, they're like, no, we can confirm you accepted the price at this. No, I didn't, else I would not have accepted the ride. So anyway, so this is a quick introductory video to get me started back up on YouTube again. Please remember to like my content, follow, and to share. The more people that realize what Uber and Lyft are up to in these days, especially with gas prices going up, driver payouts are decreasing, they're taking more money. The more of us that can see what's going on, then you start to say, hey, you know what? I'm not going to accept every single ride. I'm not going to do this anymore because they're out to make money. So anyway, maybe we can start a little revolution and force these platforms to start acting the way that they're supposed to. Until next time, thank you for watching, and y'all have a safe and wonderful day out on those roads.